Hey everyone, I just wanted to talk a little bit more about what you should be making as a Salesforce consultant. So right now I'm in the process of kind of looking for my next long-term contract because I think my current one is probably ending soon. So I've been talking with a lot of recruiters, talking with a lot of companies, understanding what the rates are going for these days. So I thought I'd share some of that with you. So my take so far, and this is just in the United States, for someone with about 5 years experience as a developer, so if this person can do coding like Apex coding, LWC components, Apex, things like that, and they're on site, probably $125 an hour is about what companies are willing to pay. And then, so if a company's having a hard time finding people locally, they can find a remote developer for anywhere between $80 and $100 an hour. So, you know, what I've been doing with negotiating for rates is I usually just take a look and see, okay, even though, you know, I'm located in Wisconsin, I get a lot of people calling me for jobs throughout the country here. Oh, there's a lot of snow here. So say we've got a job in Oklahoma, for example. I'll say, okay, well, I would do it for $125, but they'll have to cover my expenses to travel back and forth. So they'll say yes to that, or they'll say, no, you need to give us a rate that includes the cost of travel. You know, and that might add anywhere from like $25 to $35 an hour just to cover like hotels and airline tickets and things like that. So then you're looking at a rate of like $150 an hour. So usually finding companies will say, well, you know, that's getting to be a bit much. And then I say, well, you know, you could bring your rates down lower if you considered remote. And then they'll start to ask, okay, well, what kind of rate would you offer for a remote position? And then it starts getting into more like the 100, 110 type of numbers. And then that kind of opens up the opportunity then for them to bring me on. So in terms of negotiating the terms of the contract and the rate, I mean, rate's always just like one factor of it, right? There's all these other things like how long is it going to take for them to pay, how our expenses are reimbursed and whatnot, stuff like that. So anyway, if you already have the 5 years experience and you're interested in getting into contract work, I would say right now is still a really good time to try it. If you go to work for another consulting company, obviously they're going to need to take a portion of that bill rate, so you probably wouldn't expect to get paid that much. But if you can think about maybe just doing independent consulting, independent contracting, they call it 1099, or sometimes corp to corp. If you can handle like all the taxes, I mean, and you've got that experience, there's no reason you shouldn't be making $125 an hour at least for on-site work. And this is just for developers. So admins, I haven't really been seeing a whole lot of people approaching me for admin type of work. Maybe it's because on my LinkedIn profile I come off as more of a developer. But I know there is still a need. From what I've seen, it's usually mostly on-site work. I think the remote jobs are a bit harder to find for admins. But if you don't have the experience at all and you're still trying to get into it, there's a couple of approaches I would still take. First, make sure your LinkedIn profile says that you're an admin, even if you don't have the experience. You may actually just want to start your own company just so you can start listing work experience. And then maybe go onto a website like Upwork, try to find small projects there. Now you've got your own business, you've got some clients that you're doing work for. Now you're starting to build up that experience. So if you start it now, then 2 years from now, you'll be able to say, well, I've got 2 years experience being an admin, and that'll make it a lot easier to land bigger jobs. So the point is, get started now, start building up some type of experience so that you can start qualifying for jobs at bigger companies. So yeah, I just wanted to share what I'm finding. If there's anything you want to know, feel free to ask. I'm an open book. All right, have fun.